Well, hey there, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on Up with KREM. It is Friday. Take a stretch. Rejoice. We made it to the weekend, friends. I'm Tim Pham. Ballots in Washington are being sent out for the November election, and you might want to check your mailbox. Spokane County ballots already started getting sent out earlier this week, and it'll continue today. Ballot boxes across the county are also open now, or you can send it through the mail. Meanwhile, Idaho doesn't use a vote-by-mail system, so voters need to be present at the polls on Election Day unless you can request an absentee ballot. For more information on key elections in our area and more on making your vote count in both Washington and Idaho, just text the word election to 509-448-2000. I almost forgot the number, Jeremy.
I forget it all the time.
It's going to be burned in my brain. I don't know how I could ever forget that number.
Yeah,
We've said it a million times.
90, and you're just going to be like 509-448-2000. People are going to be like, what's this old man talking about?
Well, one time I accidentally put that number on a loan application.
Oh.
So it was an accident. I fixed it.
Oh.
Okay, enough about that though. Let's talk weather though, because there's a lot going on this weekend. It is a big football weekend in Pullman. So what's the weather going to be like this weekend?
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. Basically it is. And it all kind of starts today. We've got cloudy skies and mild temps this morning. We're in the 40s around much of the inland northwest because of it. We've got a little moisture off to the north, and this is kind of going to linger for a good chunk of the day. So if you want to see rain, head up to northeastern Washington, far reaches of North Idaho. We'll hang on to that through the afternoon. It eventually moves out here in Spokane. We likely stay dry, but it's also possible to see a couple sprinkles later on today. It's that type of pattern. Very similar to what we saw yesterday, where I was driving around town and I went, oh, here are the sprinkles. Had to hit the windshield wipers twice, and then it was done, moved out. We've got more sun though as we head into the day on Saturday, and by Sunday clouds start building back in. So it all starts today. And the reason I'm saying today is because today winds up about 10 degrees warmer than where we were yesterday. We'll climb into the upper 50s later on this afternoon despite some of that cloud cover. And as we head into the weekend, even warmer and even sunnier. I've got the details on that coming up in just a bit.
Starting November 15th, everyone 12 and older will need to show vaccination proof or a negative COVID test before attending large events in Washington state. Governor Jay Inslee made the announcement on the new mandate on Thursday, and the order applies to indoor events with 1,000 people or more. For now, this applies to ticketed or registered events like conventions, concerts, sporting events, fairs, theme parks, and much more. So this doesn't apply, though, to religious services or events that are held on K through 12 school grounds. It also applies to outdoor events where more than 10,000 attendees are present.
This is yet another step in an ongoing battle with this disease. We believe it is a very important one. It can help incentivize people to decide to get vaccinated and avoid the headache of having to get a test. We believe it will be yet another effective of the measures that we have taken.
If you are showing proof of vaccination, that can be done by showing your official CDC vaccination card or your vaccination record. As proof for negative tests, you need to show a copy or a photo of the test results from the provider or lab that processed your test. The statewide vaccine mandate impacting thousands of workers is just 3 days away. Monday is the deadline for them to show proof they're fully vaccinated against COVID-19. If state workers, including fire, healthcare workers, and teachers, fail to show proof of vaccination before then, they could be out of a job if an exemption hasn't been approved and accommodated. A panel of FDA advisors unanimously recommend Moderna's booster shots. The booster is half the dose of the initial vaccine people received. The booster is for people older than 65 and older who are at high risk of severe COVID, and those people who work in places that put them at a high risk of catching COVID, such as hospitals.
Our licensed vaccine remain effective in protecting against severe disease. However, some data suggests that effectiveness may be waning against mild disease and against severe disease in elderly individuals.
The FDA is expected to sign off on the decision in the coming days. The same panel is also hearing about the J&J booster later today. It is time for your morning rush. More news in less time. Former President Bill Clinton is in the hospital for a non-COVID-19 related infection. He was admitted to UC Irvine Medical Center on Tuesday and is, quote, on the mend and in good spirits. Physicians say he has an infection and is being treated with IV antibiotics. After 2 days of treatment, they say he is responding well. It has been more than 2 weeks since a Coeur d'Alene woman went missing, and her family is pleading for her safe return. This is 62-year-old Sharon Archer. She was last seen on September 27th. She's described as 5'10", 175 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. Archer is considered in danger due to a history of medical conditions. We did speak with her daughter-in-law, who is asking anyone for help in finding Archer, especially local business owners who might have video of her whereabouts.
Now we're hoping the community will just help us bring her home. I mean, it's a 50-50 chance there's still a miracle that could happen, but there's a 50-50 chance that it's been 2 weeks. We're really not going to get very good results. If she is still alive, she's definitely going to be in the hospital.
Archer's family received new footage from the Coeur d'Alene Exxon on Appleway Avenue and Government Way of her car heading north. If you have any information on Archer's whereabouts, you're asked to contact the Coeur d'Alene Police Department. Amazon started operations at its new air gateway at the Spokane International Airport early Thursday morning. So this is Amazon Air's second location in Washington. Operations here will receive a variety of products to store at Spokane's 2 fulfillment centers, as well as deliver products from Spokane. Amazon says the launch of this new air gateway will ensure customers get fast delivery of their orders.
I can tell you it's tremendous exhilaration from the team. I know they were super excited today to arrive that first aircraft and then actually depart the first aircraft 9 minutes early today on our scheduled departure time. So a really great achievement by the Traeger Dugan team and the entire team that supported the Spokane launch.
The new air gateway will create 50 new jobs in Spokane, and there are plans to expand operations with additional flights to create even more jobs. Meanwhile, a Boeing pilot is charged for fraud related to the 737 MAX crashes that killed more than 340 people. Court documents show former chief technical pilot Mark Faulkner gave the FAA false information about the plane during the agency's evaluation and certification process about the plane's maneuvering system. The lawsuit claims because Faulkner was trying to save Boeing money, the airplane manuals lacked any reference to the maneuvering system. If convicted, Faulkner could spend the rest of his life in prison. Well, scientists say it's a 1 in a 100 billion chance. A meteorite crashed into a Northwest home and landed next to a woman sleeping in bed. The New York Times says it happened on October 3rd in the small town of Golden, about 440 miles east of Vancouver. The woman wasn't hurt. Experts at the University of Western Ontario confirmed it was a meteorite that crashed through her ceiling. Researchers found a second meteorite in a field nearby. That's your morning rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media.
And believe it or not, today is about as average as it gets in terms of temperatures for us here in the inland Northwest. 58, right where we're supposed to be. But by this weekend, we're talking temps soaring to about 10 degrees above where they should be this time of year. I'll walk you through our weekend warm-up after the break.
Victims of domestic violence often have to leave everything behind, and sometimes that means their furry friends too.
Fleeing, with your pet can be just a huge barrier for folks. And so by being pet friendly, we're trying to decrease those barriers for our survivors.
Up with KREM's Channing Curtis telling us more about what local organizations are doing to help pet owners during a stressful time.